Oasis Audio presents The Mockingbird Song by Wanda E. Brunstetter. Read for you by Rebecca Gallagher. Chapter 1. Strasburg, Pennsylvania. With her nose pressed against the cold glass, Sylvia Byler gazed out the window at the fresh fallen snow in her mother's backyard. The back of her eyes stung as they followed the outline of objects the light of day cast into the yard. Sylvia's breathing deepened, and she began to relax as she remembered a previous holiday. She smiled for a moment, thinking about her deceased husband on a night such as this. How wonderful it had been to be with him and the children, sharing the joy the holiday brought them. And such special times I had here growing up, before starting my new life with the man I loved. How would things be right now if nothing had happened to our precious loved ones? Sylvia shifted her weight when she heard a familiar sound that echoed of bygone days. Laughter and excited conversation drifted from the living room into the kitchen where she stood, but she felt no merriment on this holiday. This was Sylvia's first Christmas without the three men who'd been so special in her life: her beloved husband, devoted father, and caring brother. It was hard to understand how the rest of her family could be so cheerful today. Didn't they miss Dad, Toby, and Abe? Didn't they care how much Sylvia still grieved? Why weren't they grieving too? With a weary sigh, Sylvia turned away from the window and sank into a chair at the table. She had offered to get the coffee going and cut the pies for dessert, but all she really wanted to do was go to her bedroom and have a good cry. Closing her eyes, Sylvia let her mind drift back to that horrible day 8 months ago when Dad, Toby, and Abe had decided to go after ice cream to have with Mom's birthday cake. Dad's horse and buggy had barely left the driveway to pull onto the main road when a truck hit them from behind. All occupants in the buggy, along with the horse, had died, leaving Sylvia without a husband and the job of raising 2 small children on her own. She'd been depressed for so long, she hardly remembered what it felt like to feel normal and happy. Unable to live in the home she and Toby had shared, Sylvia had moved in with her mother, where her sister Amy and brother Henry also lived. Each of them had faced challenges since that fateful day, but Amy seemed to be coping better than any of them. Probably because she and Jared are back together, Sylvia told herself. She's excited about her wedding next year and seems to enjoy helping Mom in the greenhouse. I can't blame her for that. But today, of all days, my sister should be missing our departed loved ones. Sylvia's youngest brother still had a chip on his shoulder and had done some rebellious things since the accident. He'd been doing a little better lately, but Henry's rebellious nature and negative attitude had not fully dissipated. Another thing that bothered Sylvia was Mom's old boyfriend, Monroe, and how he'd made a habit of coming by to check on them and asking if there was anything he could do to help out. Monroe had reminded Mom several times that it wasn't good for her and the family to be alone without a man to watch out for them. Monroe always seemed to know when to drop by and would often stay, at Mom's invitation, to eat a meal with the family. Those times when he waited for Mom to come in from the greenhouse were awkward, too. Sylvia always tried to come up with topics of conversation, which had made her feel more uneasy as she wasn't comfortable around people she didn't know well. Each time Mom would come in from work, Monroe seemed eager to please. In Sylvia's opinion, the man was trying to worm his way into their lives. Something about the fellow wasn't right, but she couldn't put her finger on it. As far as she could tell, Monroe seemed to avoid the greenhouse. If anything was to be fixed, it usually pertained to the house or barn. It was obvious to her that
Sample complete. Ready to continue?